Welcome to another edition of Fast Facts Live. I am your host, your quiz master of ceremonies, Dan O'Keefe, and we got another fun game of trivia for you tonight. Joining me, as always, are the man who runs the show, the producer, the creator, Tom Hillmeyer. Say hi, Tom.
Hi.
And Charty, a cave troll who crawled into this apartment on accident, and now they can't leave because we use them as our scorekeeper.
It's gotten really annoying.
It has.
Yeah, they've been here for like a week.
Charty does not know how to shower either. Anyways, what is Fast Facts Live, you may be asking? Fast Facts Live is the only online trivia competition localized entirely in this studio apartment. And how the gameplay works, we have 5 rounds of 5 questions each. Each question is worth 1 point, except when they're not, it may be worth 2 points. At the end, we tally everything up. Whoever has the highest score is the winner. But before we get to the end, we have a Hail Mary question that is worth half of your score. So if you get it right, you can double your score. Not double your score. Take half of your score and add it to your score. If you have 10 points at the end, get the Hail Mary question right, add 5 points, and so on and so forth. If you get it wrong, no harm, no foul. It's a Hail Mary, and we all know in football, Hail Marys only lead to touchdowns or nothing wrong. Anyways, if you haven't texted in your name yet, be sure to text in your name to whatever the number is. I don't know. I don't have it memorized. It's somewhere on our Facebook or YouTube.
It's 504
504
475
475
quiz
quiz
749.
749.
It's a New Orleans area code.
Yes, we are hosting the show live from Milwaukee, New Orleans. Those of you who may be asking yourselves, how can I cheat? A, stop. B, don't. You don't win anything. I mean, you win. If you win, you win. You get the pride and accomplishment of winning a trivia competition. But that's it. There's no money involved. This is all for fun. We're all just trying to have a good time here. So why would you cheat? Sure, you have Google in front of you. Ignore Google. You can't trust computers anyway. The only person you can trust is yourself. And especially not Charty. Anyways, another thing that I'm announcing right now without telling Tom beforehand is that if you win, we will send you a certificate of championosity. That's right, if you win, we will email you or text you or however you want it. We will send you a certificate saying, hey, you won this week's Fast Facts Live.
Are we doing this now?
We're doing it. I'll make it. I don't know how to Photoshop anything, but I'll make it.
Oh, great.
Anyways, I think I've stalled long enough. How many teams do we have right now?
Oh, God. A lot.
We have a lot of teams. More than last week, we had 15 teams. We have
had
32 teams.
Yeah.
As I talk over Tom.
Yes.
What are some team names? Let's run through them.
All right, we've got Moist Towelettes, Goats. Hold on. I need to take my headphones off.
Yeah, I hear the echo.
There's a delay. Moist Towelettes, Goats, Aesop's Foibles, the Von Squad, the Ronoids, Mama Bear, Know-It-All Trebek, Quiz Cats, the Mackies, Mr. Robot, the Rittenhouse House, Team Chicken Dinner, Wholesale Soul Whale, my favorite, NMAC, Roll Gerbos, Brass Monkey, Colowins, the Scranton Stranglers, STL, the White Claws, Joe and the Ferbers, Bologna, Texas Tornadoes, Netflix should stop asking me if I'm still watching, Moneypenny, CWE, Alex and the Ferbers, California Cool Guys, Gampops, Lee and the Ferbers, Gaelic Storm, and Jay-Z.
That's a lot of teams.
Yeah.
I want to give a special welcome to my parents, who may be playing, maybe not. My mom called me earlier and was like, I don't know, we may have to watch this week and then study up on these weird questions that you're asking. And to my grandmother, who also may be watching. Anyways, now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's go into the first category of this week's edition of Fast Facts Live. And that first category is... we skipped too far ahead. That first category is Raiders. This category is all about Raiders of the Lost Ark, that first Indiana Jones movie, and the Raiders football team. So I hope you know this very specific niche of trivia. First question. In Raiders of the Lost Ark, what fruit was poisoned while Indiana Jones was in Cairo? You have 30 seconds. Text in your answers now. And that's time. Moving on to question number 2. The Las Vegas Raiders will begin play in the 2020 NFL season in a brand new stadium. Located in what city? I'm going to repeat the question. The Las Vegas Raiders will begin play in the 2020 NFL season in a new stadium located in what city? Text in your answers. I hope you got that question right. Moving on to question number 3. In the beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indy escapes the natives in Peru with the help of his pilot, Jack. Name either the hat that Jack was wearing or his pet snake's name. If you get both of these correct, you get 2 points. If you get one of them correct, you get 1 point. If you get none of them correct, you get no points. 30 seconds. For those of you who played last week, you may notice that we shortened our time in between questions from 60 seconds to 30 seconds. Because, like Liam Neeson likes to say, we like to go quickly. Moving on to question number 4. Who did the Raiders rehire on a 10-year, $100 million contract in 2018, making him the third highest paid coach in the National Football League? Again, who did the Raiders rehire on a 10-year, $100 million contract in 2018, which, coincidentally, is what I'm getting paid to make this show, which made him the third highest paid coach in the National Football League? Send us your answers. Okay, I was just told that I'm paying $100 million to host this show. I'm not getting paid $100 million. I need to talk to my accountant. Final question of the category, question number 5. At the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark, the Ark of the Covenant doesn't go to a museum. Instead, it's to be studied by whom? At the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark, the Ark of the Covenant does not go to a museum. Instead, it goes to be studied by whom? You have 30 seconds. Go. We also changed. Tom seems very excited. I need to stop whatever stupid thing I was going to say.
So the music track that I picked
Uh-huh.
was exactly long enough.
Wow.
Like, down to the second.
This is what wakes Tom up in the morning. Thinking of matching the music perfectly.
It is. You kidding? We had a comment last time where it was like the music is too repetitive, so we picked new music for every category.
We did. We have new music for each category, so...
And I just picked random music and I was going to have it loop, and it ended right perfectly.
Whatever evil Grinch of you said that our music was too repetitive, I hope you're happy now. As we move on to the next category, I hope you had fun with our Raiders category, because next one, it's a doozy that I'm sure that my parents will not know the answers to. Because this next category is It's a Me Trivia. All about everyone's favorite plumber. Who is that? Mario. And first question in the It's a Me Trivia category. In the original Donkey Kong, what was the name of the character that the player controlled? In the original Donkey Kong, the arcade game that we all say that we've played before, what was the name of the character that the player controlled? You have 30 seconds. I went to play Donkey Kong last night because I have it on the Switch, and I started playing it, and then I died, and I immediately turned it off, and I don't think I'm ever going to play again, because I spent my government-mandated 14 seconds on the game, and I think that's just enough of my time. As we move on to question number 2, what are the names of Mario and Luigi's nefarious counterparts? I'll repeat that for those in the back. What are the name of Mario and Luigi's nefarious counterparts? You have 30 seconds to answer. If you don't answer, I will cry. I want everybody to know that in that break, Charty asked the question, and who? And we're still trying to translate that into English. Actually, we're trying to translate that into human, because Charty is a subhuman troll monster. Moving on to question number 3. Mario has done his fair share of extracurricular activities. Golfing, tennis, kart racing, even teaching. In the Mario Teaches series, what did he teach? Again, in the Mario Teaches series of video games, what did Mario teach? I'll let you know right now. I'm not going to tell you the answer. You have 30 seconds. And we're back. It's almost spring. Moving on to question number 4. The 1993 Super Mario Bros. Film is terrible. One of the worst movies ever made. I watched it. I regret it. It haunts me to this day. But, that being said, what easy-riding Oscar-winning actor played the villain, King Koopa? I'll repeat, what easy-riding Oscar-winning actor played the villain of the 1993 Super Mario Bros. Film named King Koopa? I want to point out that in the Super Mario Bros. Film, the villain was not named Bowser. They changed the name for some stupid reason. 30 seconds. And that's it for question number 4, which means that we get to move on to my favorite question of this category. Of course, question number 5. And that question is, in the original Super Mario Bros. the video game. What does Toad say at the end of the first 7 worlds? I could read this in a Toad voice, but if I did, everybody would leave, including Tom, and even Charty. So I won't. I'll read it in my own voice. In the original Super Mario Bros., what does Toad say at the end of the first 7 worlds? You have 30 seconds. Please say the correct answer. Hey, look, everyone. It's King Koopa. If you're wondering why I read that last question so slowly, Tom told me in the answers to vamp and take a while so we have time to add up people's scores, and I took that to mean in every single opportunity that you have to speak, you must go as slow as humanly possible, because I'm an idiot.
Right. I was told by multiple people to put the microphone away from my mouth, so I hope this is better. I both reduced the volume and am holding it carefully and watching my levels, so I don't know.
To quote the original YouTube video for Tezande's Chocolate Rain, I move away from the mic to breathe.
Oh, I thought you were going to quote Chocolate Rain, because he says it multiple times throughout the song.
Some say safe and others feel the pain. And that is the end of this category. That is the end of our first 2 categories. So, you know what that means. It's time. Is it time for a break or is it time for the answers? Let's do answers. Let's go on to the answers for the first 2 categories. Hold on.
Let me do the fun stinger.
Okay. Actually, wait. Before we go on to the answers, because I forgot to say one very specific thing that is about scoring. If you think that you got all 5 answers correct in a category, let us know. Please say double or nothing to whatever that category was. So if you think you got them all right, you can double your score. So instead of getting 5 points, you get 10 points in that category. But that's only if you get them all right. If you get even one of them wrong, you get no points for that category. So it's a little bit of a bet on yourself. So if you want to go double or nothing on either of the first 2 categories, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to text in double or nothing Raiders or double or nothing Mario. So you have 30 seconds. Please text in if you want to go double or nothing on either of those. And then after this 30 seconds, we will go on to the answers. Now,
Okay, you got 30 seconds on the clock.
you have 30 seconds on the clock.
Do something.
I do something?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Do a bit or something.
What can I do for 30 seconds? I am drawing a...
normally do?
What do I normally do for 30 seconds? I normally stare into space and contemplate existence. Oh, I could tell you about this fun little drink that we have here. A team member of the Texas Tornadoes told me that he was upset by the empty beer glass next to me, so, of course, we put some beer in the beer glass. The beer is the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, and I'm done telling this story. I hope you got your texts in on time, because we're going to move on to the answers for the first category, Raiders. It's all about Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's all about the Las Vegas Raiders, and it's all about the answers. The first question was, in Raiders of the Lost Ark, what fruit was poisoned while Indiana Jones was in Cairo? And of course, the answer is dates. And as his name isn't Balak, what's the guy's name? I don't remember it, but he goes, bad dates. Sala.
Yeah.
He catches the date that Indy was about to throw in his mouth after he saw the dead monkey, and he goes, bad dates. Question number 2. The Las Vegas Raiders will begin play in the 2020 NFL season in a brand new stadium located in what city? The Las Vegas Raiders will play in what city? I can't wait for you all to be upset with us because the answer is Paradise, Nevada. Yes, the Las Vegas Strip is not actually located in Las Vegas proper. It is located in the unincorporated community of Paradise, Nevada. And that is where the Las Vegas Raiders will play. Please send all your hate mail to charty@gmail.com. Question number 3. At the beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indy escapes natives in Peru with the help of his pilot, Jock. I said Jack earlier. What just happened? I said Jack earlier, and I apologize. It's Jock. I apologize to all the jocks out there. Name either the hat that he was wearing or his pet snake's name. If you said baseball cap, I'm sorry, that wasn't specific enough. We were looking for a New York Yankees hat, and his snake's name was Reggie. Or, if you don't understand how the questions are orders, he was wearing a Reggie's hat, and his snake was named New York Yankees. I hope that you got those right. I hope that everybody gets every question right. So we all live in a peaceful universe where we have 47 tiebreakers. Oh, I'm such a sweetheart. We will. Answer number 4. Who did the Raiders rehire on a 10-year, $100 million contract in 2018, making him the third highest paid coach in the NFL? That, of course, is Jon Gruden, former ESPN color commentator, former Tampa Bay Buccaneers coach, former Raiders coach, brother of the former Washington football team coach, Jay Gruden. And the final answer in this category, at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark, the Ark of the Covenant does not go to the museum. It is instead sent to be studied by whom? And the answer is, of course, very specifically, top men. Moving on to the next category, in It's a Me trivia, let's go to those 5 answers. The first question in this was, in the original Donkey Kong, what was the name of the character that the player controlled? And we all know that Drake and Future were gigantic fans of this, because the answer is, of course, Jumpman. Jumpman, 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 Jumpman. That boy's up to something. Moving on to question number 2. What are the names of Mario and Luigi's nefarious counterparts? That is, of course, Waluigi and Wario. And I said those in the wrong order. And for that, I'm not sorry. Waluigi always comes first in my book, in the dictionary, and in my heart. Question number 3. Mario has done his fair share of extracurricular activities. Golfing, tennis, kart racing, even teaching. In the Mario Teaches series, what did he teach? If you said auto mechanics, oh, honey, no. Mario teaches typing. 2 educational video games. Woo! 2 educational video games released exclusively for the PC, so they're everyone's favorite games. Question number 4. In the 1993 Super Mario Bros. Film, who plays the villain King Koopa, the terrible, awful, very bad, no good Super Mario Bros. Film? This easy-riding actor played King Koopa, and that is, of course, a man who played my favorite, I did not word that in the correct way, a man who was in my favorite episode of the 4th season of The Twilight Zone, Dennis Hopper. That's right, an Academy Award-winning actor was in the Super Mario Brothers movie, and I think we're all sad to hear that. And the final question in this category, in the original Super Mario Bros., what does Toad say at the end of the first 7 worlds? That is, of course, thank you, Mario, but our princess is in another castle. I could again say this like Toad, but A, everybody would be sad, and B, you hear how my voice is already starting to get shot? You don't want to hear my Toad impression, because then it will get really shot. And with that, what should we do now? Take a break? I think we should take a break. We're going to take a 2-minute break. We'll be back after this for some more fun trivia with Fast Facts Live. hope that break was fun. I hope you all used the restroom, got a drink of water, cried. I know I did all three at the same time.
There are so many people playing.
What?
There are so many people playing.
Oh, that's great.
That's
Thank
why.
you.
That's why our break was so long.
Yes, our break was so long. We were doing some scorekeeping, some stuff like that.
Oh my
And to
God.
keep you all in the dark, we are not going to reveal the scores until we get to the end of the game because we like mystery and we're lazy and don't want to add it all up right now because that would be a lot of work. We're not lazy. We're a small team. Charty, despite being a cave troll, is doing their best. Yes, that was that. And we are going to move on to the next category, although I can give you a brief score update. Texas Tornadoes, you're losing. You were 100% sure of that. You have gotten 0 correct. You are our reigning champions. You're making me sad. As we move on to our category, this is round 3, death and taxes. Tax day isn't the worst thing to have happened on April 15th. Allegedly. And this year, tax day isn't even on April 15th. Anyway, death and taxes. Clue number 1, the RMS Titanic struck an iceberg and sank on this day. In what year? You have to give the exact year, and if you say 1997, that's wrong. You have 30 seconds. So we have a team called the Ronoids playing, and they want us to announce that they are the only team with a team member that has the coronavirus. But we're not sure about that because we haven't done a census of everybody who's playing. And also, people don't know if you have it. You could have it and be asymptomatic. Anyways, be safe. This isn't fun anymore. We're in the death and taxes category. We're talking about the Titanic and coronavirus. Always what you want to do in a happy-go-lucky trivia game. Moving on to question number 2. Abraham Lincoln died on this day in 1865 after being shot the previous evening by John Wilkes Booth. Upon his death, who became president? Upon Abraham Lincoln's death, who became president on this day in 1865? You have 30 seconds. Send in your answers. If any one of you answered John Wilkes Booth to this, I will personally go to your house and teach you a history lesson. Because no! As we move on to question number 3, on this day in 2013, an attack on the Boston Marathon occurred. 2020 will be the first year that the Boston Marathon is not being run on what holiday? 2020 will be the first year that the Boston Marathon is not run on what holiday? You have 30 seconds. Robust and complex, our porter is a bittersweet tribute to the legendary freighter's fallen crew, taken too soon when the gales of November came early. For freshest taste, please enjoy by April 8th. Tom, this is expired. I can't drink it. Oh, I was looking forward to that beer. I love beer. Moving on to question number 4. Hu Yaobang, a high-ranking government official, was killed on this day in 1989, triggering protests in what Chinese location? Hu Yaobang, a high-ranking government official, was killed on this day in 1989, which triggered protests in what Chinese location? 30 seconds. And that was question number 4. You know, this death and taxes category really leans heavily on the death side and not much on the taxes. Will that be rectified in question number 5? No. The worst disaster in British sporting history occurred on this day in 1989 during a football match between Nottingham Forest and what Premier League team who, quote, never walks alone? You have 30 seconds. And that is the end of the death and taxes category. If you think that you did exceptionally well, got all 5 questions right, please send in a text saying double or nothing to us. Why did I say us like that? Double or nothing taxes or double or nothing death. Something to signify that you want to try your hand at going double or nothing on the previous category. I need to vamp for 30 seconds, so you have time to send that in. So, I want to tell you about this turtle. I did that already last week. Tom would get upset if I did that again. He's already taken off his headphones like he's going to give me a nice scolding. No, I'm not going to do that. If anybody here has ever watched the show Adam 12, it's on MeTV from 4 to 5 on weekdays. It is a fun show. No character ever learns anything. There's no character growth or development. It's just 2 straight-laced, milquetoast 70s police officers doing right by the law. And if you're into that, it's a good show. I think that was 30 seconds. I don't know. I have no internal clock. But anyways, let's move on to the next category. And this category is one that I wrote, so you know that I enjoy it a lot. What just happened? I don't know what happened. This round is called Best Actors. You see that act is in quotes because I'm trying to become a Jeopardy category writer. That's right, the award goes to Democracy. Notice that act is in quotes. And the first question of the category is, the Federal Blank Act of 1956 authorized $25 billion for the largest public works project in American history. What is the blank? The Federal Blank Act of 1956, fill in the blank. Isn't trivia fun? Question number 2 in this category. The Lend-Lease Act authorized the sale of supplies to the UK, China, France, Soviet Union, and other countries during what global event? Yes, the Lend-Lease Act authorized the sale of supplies to the UK, China, France, Soviet Union, and other countries during what global event? The correct answer is Pokemania. No, you have 30 seconds. another fun game of trivia. You love to see it. Question number 3. In 1911, the Sherman Antitrust Act was used to break up what energy monopoly? That's right, in 1911, the Sherman Antitrust Act was actually used to break up what energy monopoly? You have 30 seconds. In case anybody was wondering, Mr. Monopoly, the man with the money bags in the Monopoly game, does not and has never had a monocle. If you think that he does, or if you have a vivid memory of him having one, that is an example of the Mandela effect, which I will not go into any further, and we do not have anything else about that for the rest of the game. Moving on to question number 4. Who was president when the Americans with Disabilities Act was signed into law? Just send us their name. Be specific. Who was president when the Americans with Disabilities Act was signed into law? 30 seconds. Just a reminder, please don't send in Double or Nothing until the end of the category. That makes it easier for Charty and for us and for you in case this last question is a doozy and you get it wrong. Hint, hint. As we move on to question number 5. We skipped it. We all know that Ronald Reagan was an actor before he became a politician. Other politicians has also been actors, including this specific one. What current senator was persecuted as Samuel Paris in the 1992 Harvard production of The Crucible? What current United States senator, so you have 100 to choose from, was persecuted as Samuel Paris in the 1992 Harvard production of The Crucible? You have 30 seconds, but really, you either know this one or you don't. But we'll give you 30 seconds anyway. And we're back. Boy, I bet some of you are regretting sending in Double or Nothing before the end of the category, aren't you? No takes backsies, though. And that is the end of this category. For those of you who are wondering, yes, that was the question that our hint was for that we posted on social media earlier. And if you're not following us on social media, you should. You can follow us on Facebook at Fast Facts Live, on Trivia, look up Fast Facts Live, or on YouTube, look up Fast Facts Live. Do we have an Instagram page, Tom? No. So if you look up Fast Facts Live, follow whatever the first response is there. I'm sure they'll be happy to see it. Anyways, we are going to... Was that the end of category 4? Yeah. We are going to take a break, and then we'll show you the answers for Category 4. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with the answers and then the last category of this week's edition of Fast Facts Live. Stay here. Sorry, I just had a nightmare that I was hosting an online trivia competition. Ew. Anyways, I think that Tom has some updates on the scores for you. I hope.
Give me a minute.
Okay, he's trying.
Yes, I have updates on scores.
Yay!
This is straight from Charty. So with 21 points, the current leader is Rolled Jabros. Also tied at 21 is the Roanoids. The Roanoid.
The Roanoke colony.
The Roanoke colony. In second place, or third place, sorry, with 20 points is Netflix Should Stop Asking Me If I'm Still Watching or Not.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth place with 16 points is STL.
Okay.
Fifth place with 15 points is Moneypenny.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to say any of the rest because there's a lot.
Okay.
But
you hear that, my brother? You're not even on the leaderboard.
should we say who has 0?
Yes, let's say who has 0.
No, we shouldn't say.
We shouldn't? Is it still Texas Tornadoes?
No, they have
Yes!
points.
Congratulations, Texas Tornadoes.
Okay.
We only do this to you because you won last week. So the fact that how the mighty have fallen, as we say.
Sure. Now that I'm looking at the screen, I'm not sure I was in camera that entire time.
Whatever. We got a beautiful view of your picture of Milwaukee on the wall, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what your camera can see. Anyways, we're going to move on to the last category in this week's edition of Fast Facts Live, and that is, of course, our Why Are You Doing This? Because I have to go to the answers first. Anyway, I'm going to give the answers before we go to the next category. I forget to do this last week. I forget to do it this week. Anyways, the answers for Death and Taxes. First one, RMS Titanic sunk on this day in what year? That is, of course, 1912. Again, not 1997. That's when Leo sunk, though. He could have fit on the door. Abraham Lincoln died on this day in 1865. Who became president after him? That was, of course, Andrew Johnson, who was the first president to be impeached, but acquitted. And our third question. The 2020 Boston Marathon will be the first year that is not run on what holiday? That is, of course, the Mark Wahlberg film Patriots Day. Question number 4 in Death and Taxes. Hu Yaobang, a high-ranking government official, was killed on this day in 1989, triggering protests in what Chinese location? That is, of course, Tiananmen Square. I hope you all spelled that correctly. Or not, we got the gist. And the final one, the worst disaster in British sporting history occurred on this day in 1989 between Nottingham Forest and what team? That is, of course, Liverpool. As we move on to the next category, that is Best Actors. And that is the Federal Blank Act of 1956, authorized $25 billion for what? The Federal Highway Act of 1956 for the interstate highway system, something that we all know and love today. Question number 2. The Lend-Lease Act authorized the sale of supplies to the UK, China, France, Soviet Union, and what other countries during what global event? That is, of course, World War II. I say that because this is produced by Tom Hillmeyer III. So, of course, we must be correct in our pronunciations. In 1911, the Sherman Antitrust Act was used to break up what energy monopoly? That is, of course, Standard Oil of New Jersey. If you said Standard Oil of any other state, it was wrong, but I don't know why anybody would do that. As we move on to question number 4, who was president when the Americans with Disabilities Act was signed into law? That was, of course, George Herbert Walker Bush. And finally, my favorite question, we all know that Reagan was an actor. What current senator was persecuted as Samuel Paris in the 1992 Harvard production of The Crucible? We have a video for you, so I'm going to lean forward so we can play the video. That answer is Senator Ted Cruz, and if you want to see acting brilliance as it is seen, what was that sentence? If you want to see acting brilliance as best as it can be, here we go. And it's loading. We're using a lot of bandwidth.
Why am I persecuted here?
There has never been a greater performance in the history of mankind than Ted Cruz as Samuel Paris. And yes, we did have that as our hint this week, and it was a picture of the Zodiac Killer that we shared because Ted Cruz is, of course, the Zodiac Killer. As we move on to the final category, it is Fast Facts Live, and the category is Toss-Up, everyone's favorite category except for me. And the first question in Toss-Up is, what is a group of rhinos called? What is a group of rhinos called? What is a group of rhinos called? 30 seconds. You know what band is entirely properly rated? The Dave Matthews Band. No reason. Anyway, question number 2. Rolls-Royce vehicles traditionally have space for what in their doors? That's right, Rolls-Royce vehicles traditionally have space for what in their doors? No, the answer is not an entire human butler. You have 30 seconds. The answer is not a butler, it's just their head. Moving on to question number 3. A full title of a diplomat who is the personal representative of a nation is an ambassador extraordinary and blank. There's no points for spelling, so get it as best you can. You have 30 seconds. We're in the home stretch, folks. Don't give up on me now. I'm mostly just saying that to myself. Question number 4. Battle of the Network Stars and Zoe 101 were both filmed on location at what Santa Monica University? Battle of the Network Stars and Zoe 101, 2 shows that share the same universe, were filmed on location in what Santa Monica University? You have 30 seconds. Go. We were just reminiscing about Zoe 101. I love all the characters, like Zoe, and One, and who could forget O, and of course, Chester. Question number 5, the final question in this category. What decade was the first video-on-demand service implemented? What decade was the first video-on-demand service implemented? No, Nickelodeons from the 1910s don't count. What decade was the first video-on-demand service implemented? 30 seconds. This is the end of the category. That didn't fit in rhythm. And that is the end of this category, which means that it is time for the Hail Mary question. But before we get to the Hail Mary question, if you think that you did really well in our grab bag, text us, Double or Nothing grab bag. I hope you do. Why not? I mean, there's a pretty big reason why not. If you get one wrong, you get no points for the category. So I'm going to just vamp for a little bit. If you have anything that you would like us to change about Fast Facts Live, let us know. But don't let us know during the game. Let us know after the fact. If there's anything that we can improve, anything that we can make better, maybe it's getting a different host. I don't know. Maybe it's planning things out beforehand. Let us know. We want to hear your feedback. We want to improve the show. We want to make Fast Facts Live the best show that it can be. And if we can't do that, we want to make it the most show it can be. Last week, we had 4 lights lighting me. This week, we have 5. Next week, can we make it 6? Only time will tell, and that will only be told after the end of this week's Fast Facts Live. And I think that was enough time for you to send in if you wanted to do double or nothing, which means that it is time for our Hail Mary question. And our Hail Mary question works like this. Take your current score, cut it in half. If you get this question right, add that half of your current score to your current score, and you will get your score. If you have 12 points, cut it in half. You have 6 points. You get this question right, you would end up with 18 points. If you have 12 points and you get this question wrong, you still have 12 points. It's a no harm, no foul, just a way to add some spice, add a little zest, a little lemon peel, a little lime rind, a little peach fuzz, I don't know, a little something to the end of the game. And that's always something fun to do. And the Hail Mary question is, of course, our most difficult question by far. And with that, let's go to the question. Wikipedia has 293 active languages worldwide. The most widely translated person, living or dead, is Jesus Christ, with 214 pages in languages. Barack Obama is second, with 193 multiple different language pages. Who is the third most translated person, living or dead, on Wikipedia? 193 different languages on Wikipedia have pages for this person. Who is it? Any person, living or dead. You have 30 seconds. Shoot your shot, kings. Do your best. No, you can't do double or nothing on the Hail Mary question. That would be a smart move, but a move that I just unilaterally banned.
I can't figure out how to do twice of half of your score and then add it. When do we do what? What is the order of operation?
Right? Because if we're doing it, because if you multiply 1/2 by 2, that's a quarter. And that doesn't make sense at all. So actually, if you do double or nothing on this, you will get even less of what you could. So you know what? Go hog wild. Do whatever you want. Anyway, with that, we are going to just move straight into the answers. And then we'll take a quick break after the answers where we can update you with the final scores. So the answers for round 5, toss up anything. What is a group of rhinos called? A group of rhinos is known as a crash, hence my Dave Matthews Band comment, because I want you all to crash into me, baby, into me. I apologize for that. Charty somehow is shaking their massively deformed head. Question number 2. Rolls-Royce vehicles traditionally have space for what in their doors? The answer is, of course, an umbrella. So when your butler opens the door, he can grab the umbrella and make sure that you stay nice and dry because you're a special little boy or girl. Question number 3 in toss-up. The full title of a diplomat who is the personal representative of a nation is an ambassador extraordinary and plenipotentiary. This wasn't a spelling bee, so if you got anywhere close, if it started with plen and ended with something that sounded like a Y, we probably gave you the point. However, if you put something like ambassador extraordinary and dude, no, you didn't get the point. But if you did plen duty, we might have given it to you. Question number 4. Battle of the Network Stars and Zoe 101 were filmed on location at what Santa Monica University? The question has an answer, and that answer is, of course, Pepperdine University, a school that is not a restaurant, despite what the name would make you think. And finally, what decade was the first video-on-demand service implemented? That was, of course, the Helicon years of the 1990s. And that was the end of the toss-up category. I thought that we had another slide here. Anyways, I didn't reveal anything. This was our Hail Mary question. It was a doozy. I don't know if anybody got it right. Charty is check. Ooh, so far, 2 people got it right, which, good for you. You need to get a life? If you knew this like it was just a fact that you knew in your heart, reconsider things. Anyways, Wikipedia has 293 active languages worldwide. The most widely translated person, living or dead, is Jesus Christ with 214 languages. Barack Obama is second with 193 languages. Who is the third most translated person, living or dead, on Wikipedia? I'm just going to start building into it. So, yes, they are an actor. They are living. They acted on children's programming. They were in children's movies. Those were children's movies on the Disney Channel. They were a co-lead in maybe the most popular children's movie, Disney Channel original movie franchise there is. They were the lead in a Double Dutch movie. That's right. You gotta jump in. You gotta push it to the limit. Give it all you can get it, because we're in it to win it. Oh yeah, the answer to our Hail Mary question is Corbin Bleu. And the crowd goes wild. We are going to take a break right now so we can tally up our final scores. Hang tight real quick, because after this, we will tell you who the winner of this week's edition of Fast Facts Live is. Stay tuned. we're back. I hope you're all waiting with bated breath. I hope your breath was bated during that entire break. If you stayed conscious with bated breath for that long, I'm proud of you. You must be a diver. Anyways, let's go right into the scores. We're going to start from the bottom, and we're going to ignore the people that have 0 points. With 1 point, we have the White Claws. Tied with that is Mama Bear. Tied with that is Lee and the Ferbers. And tied with that is Gaelic Storm. All you tried. And with 2 points, we have the Von Squad and CWE. And then taking a big jump up with 5 points, Mr. Robot, Bologna, Aesop's Foibles. All of you had 5 points. Tied with 6 points, we have NMAC and Joe and the Ferbers. With 7 points, we have the California Cool Guys. We have Brass Monkey. You all tied at 7 points. 8 points, we have the Mackies, Know-It-All Trebek, and Goats. With 9 points, we have Moist Towelettes. Tied with 10 points, we have the Rittenhouse House, Cola Wins, and Alex and the Ferbers. With 11 points, we have the Texas Tornadoes and Team Chicken Dinner. With 12 points, Wholesale Soul Whale and Quiz Cats. With 15 points, we have the Scranton Stranglers. And then in 5th place, we have STL, which I assume is some tapas location, not St. Louis. They had 18 points, which is good enough for 5th place for them. We're in 4th place with 21 points. Netflix should stop asking me if I'm still watching, which is less of a team name and more of a gripe. Anyways, either way, you got 4th place. However, one team did a half point better than you. In 3rd place, there was Moneypenny, which means that we have a tie for 1st place, which means that we have a tiebreaker question. And for those of you who don't know, which is everybody, because we actually have a tiebreaker, the thing for tiebreakers now is that whenever there's a tiebreaker, we will give you a question that has a date, and we will do Price is Right rules. So whoever gets closest to that date without going over. And this question is exclusively for the Ronoids and Rolled Gerbeaus. I assume that's how you pronounce it. You both tied with 24 points, so good job, which means that we have to go to the tiebreaker question. This question will not be shown on screen. It will only be shown in the audio. I don't know what I'm saying anymore, man. So we have a tiebreaker question. And the tiebreaker question exclusively for the Ronoids and Rolled Gerbeau. Nobody else texted an answer. I will be sad. It will make our lives difficult. Only Ronoids and Rolled Gerbeau send in your answers. And the question that we have for you is, what year did Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest come out? Send in your answers. Send them in as quick as you can. Closest without going over wins.
The timer is on,
Timer's on.
but you just got to vamp.
Yeah. I'm gonna talk. Let me tell you a story about Pirates of the Caribbean. So of course the first Pirates of the Caribbean is Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, which is then followed by Dead Man's Chest, At World's End. Then there's a 4th and a 5th one. The Charty and Tom are conspiring. They're whispering together, so they're probably trying to figure out. One of the teams has already sent in their answer.
Oh, we have a winner.
We have a winner.
Just hand him the laptop.
Just
He can see it.
let's see. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. And the correct. Ooh, wow. Okay, Brass Monkey, why did you text in? I didn't ask you to text in. No. Wag of the finger. Finger of shame for you.
Should we take a point off for them? We explicitly said don't text in.
Okay, so Rolled Gerbeaus. Your answer was 2005. The Ronoids. Your answer was 2006. Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, the second film in the Pirates of the Caribbean series out of what is now 5. I don't know who watched that many. Came out in 2006. So congratulations to the Ronoids. You are this week's Fast Facts Live champions. We will be sending you a certificate of championicity later in the week. Maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, who knows? But that was this week's edition of Fast Facts Live. Thank you all for playing. Again, if you have any feedback for us, send it to the number now. Feel free to. Message us on Facebook, message us on Twitter. Send in your feedback any way you can. Throw a rock through our window with a note tied to it. Hire a pigeon. Who cares? Who knows? We just want to get better. Thank you for playing. Thank you to Tom for producing this, for doing most of everything to make this run. And thank you to Charty, who does the in-game stuff to make this run. Without Charty, this wouldn't be possible. It would be 14 hours long because we would spend most of the time trying to get the scores. We could not do this without Charty's help. But Charty, I'm still not going to reveal who you are. That is a secret that will go on for eternity. Thank you for playing Fast Facts Live. Thank you for watching. I have been Dan O'Keefe. Stay safe and have a good week.